no monitor while I'm singing, but I have this when I'm cussing and making bodily noises. Okay. All right, so this month, and I still have to take another breath, I've had like no energy all week. Whew, and like that, like I don't even know where that came from, but I gotta get centered here so I can do this. All right, so this month we are taking highlights of 4 different New Thought books that are on the New Thought summer reading list. And last week we did Thrive with Arianna Huffington. It was the #1 bestseller by that media mogul. And we looked at the 4 qualities of a redefined successful life, because generally on that other road, money, fame, and fortune is the path. And what we know, those that have chosen the road less traveled, is like, yeah, all that's really good, and we're manifesting that, and happiness, true happiness, which is really, what we're looking for. All right, so who remembers the 4 qualities that we spoke about last week? Anybody got one? Good, Nola. Well-being, and this is in all areas of your life, particularly spiritual. Wonder. And this is not only the wonder of all of life, but also of yourself. And I gave you all an assignment last week, which was to see if you could catch yourself being wonderful, where you were witnessing the character doing whatever the character does, and the witnessing went, that's amazing. Was anybody able to find that this week? Okay, do it again. Do it again this week. See how many times you can catch yourself being amazing. And what that requires, of course, is that, there be enough space in you that there can be witnessing going on of this, not just this going on. You understand the difference there. It's subtle but profound. All right, what's the 3rd quality? Anybody? Wisdom, that's it. And wisdom is not just knowledge, but really knowing deeply and embodying, and knowing that love and connection is really what we're looking for, which of course makes us very happy when we feel connected, and we're connected with our source and who we really are, which is love. And the final one, giving, absolutely. And what this does is it sets up within us a sense of flow and abundance. And so those were the 4 qualities that we were talking about with her book last week. And she has actually stepped down as editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post, and she started a new company called Thrive Global. And its whole purpose is to provide training for companies on wellness. All of these things that we know and we practice here being taken out into the workforce and for the general public. This week we're going to take a look at a New Thought classic, which is called Prosperity, and it's by Charles Fillmore, who was a co-founder of Unity, which is very, very similar to Science of Mind. And it's a book about how to live. What, honey? Oh, good. We have 5 copies of the book in our bookstore. It's about living inside of prosperity consciousness, having a consciousness of abundance, of prosperity in all areas. And I have to tell you, that book is so rich with so much that we're certainly not going to be able to even come close to covering it today. So we are going to, the whole month of September, have it be a prosperity month, where that's going to be our study and our focus. We're bringing in Edwene Gaines, who I know many of you love, and those of you who have not heard her before, phenomenal and absolutely hilarious. I mean, she is just a piece of work. And Val, you were asking me earlier where I got that photo of me with like money all over me. I was taking a money bath, and I did that at Edwene Gaines' seminar on prosperity last November, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And so I wanted to bring her to our community. MCCSL has never hosted her, so this will be a first. I've done seminars with her at other centers, but not here, so I'm really excited for her to come here. So back to this book that Charles Fillmore wrote. This is one of the important ideas from it. It says, we are not studying prosperity to become rich. Well, maybe some of us are, but really, in order for that to happen, but to bring out those characteristics that are fundamental to prosperity, and we must learn to develop the faculty that will bring prosperity, and the character that is not spoiled by the prosperity, right? You've seen those snooty patooties, right? Okay, well, we don't want to be like that. So before we go on our prosperity treasure hunt, I want to make sure that we all understand two good things. I'm sure you can come up with a whole list, but I'm going to give you the two general reasons why it's great to have a lot of money, okay? First is because it gives you the freedom to share your love, your gifts, your talents, your time with the world in ways that bring you joy and fulfillment. And secondly, it gives you the ability to give back financially and make a positive difference in this world and in the lives of other people. So said in a different way, to go back to our thriving, our 4 qualities of thriving, this takes care of 2 of them, which is well-being and giving. So that's generally what money and having a nice flow of that is good for. So we're going to go on a little treasure hunt today. I've got some fun little things for us. It's going to be a little interactive. And so I'm just trying to find ways to keep you guys awake. We're going to play. So here it is. On somewhere around you, there is a treasure map. So everybody grab your treasure map. And if you'll notice, there is an X at the bottom that says you are here. So that's where you're going to start, and we're going to take a journey up to find some amazing prosperity gems, in quotes, that I'm going to be sharing from the book. And you'll see that some of the letters are filled in to give you a little jump start, but you've got to be paying attention to the quotes in order to fill in the rest of the letters. Does anybody else need one? Because we've got 3 up here. Is everybody good? Okay. Now, for those of you that write in all 8 and you get them correct, you are welcome after the service to come up to my treasure chest. Isn't this cute? I got it at Michael's. You have no idea how hard it is to find a dang treasure chest. Anyway, I've got all kinds of things in here, little jewels, and, well, there was candy, but Michael and I ate it last night. It was really good. It was that Lynn's chocolate stuff. We got Woody CDs. We got stickers and beads and all kinds of fun stuff, feathers. So you can come up afterwards and just help yourself to whatever you would like. So Fillmore writes this: the spiritual substance from which all visible wealth comes from is never depleted. It is right with you all the time, and it responds to your faith in it and your demands on it. It's not affected by your by our ignorant talk of hard times, though we are affected because our thoughts and our words govern our demonstration. So pour your living words of faith into the omnipresent substance, and you will be prospered through all the banks, though all the banks in the world will close their doors. Okay, that just bothers me. Okay. So the key to what he said is, and the key to an abundant, prosperous consciousness is that spiritual substance is never depleted. And why is that? It's because it's infinite. So no matter how much of it is used or taken from the infinite, there is still an infinite amount left. And that's kind of a big concept to wrap your heads around. So let's look at a few other things that may be easier to see how it's infinite. And like ideas. Or how about air? Well, Fillmore writes in Prosperity, he says, there is no scarcity of the air you breathe. There's plenty of air to breathe. In fact, all you'll ever need. But if you close your lungs and refuse to breathe, you will not get it, and you may suffocate for lack of air. When you recognize the presence of abundance of air and open your lungs to breathe in deeply, you get a larger inspiration. There is an all-sufficiency of all things. There is an all-sufficiency of air. There's plenty of air to breathe. The only lack is our own lack of appropriation. So I love what was said in the quote prior to this one, where it says it's not, meaning the substance, is not affected by our ignorant talk of hard times, though we're affected by it because our thoughts and words govern our demonstration. So pour your living words of faith into this omnipresent substance, and you'll be prospered. So the question is, what words are you pouring into this omnipresent substance? Are we pouring words of what we want, or of what we don't want? So consciously, as you become aware of those thoughts and those words, consciously make a decision to say just what you want. In this thing called You, Holmes says that let no words come forth from your lips that you don't want to have come back into your life. So think of it as like a boomerang, that what you put out, it like comes back around. What would be some examples? Let's do a few of things you've caught yourself saying that you don't want boomeranging and coming back around. Like, give me a phrase of something you might say. I'm tired of this. Oh, God, aren't you? Oh, me too. Okay, so I'm tired of this. Anybody else said that one? Yeah, I'm tired of this. So what would be the opposite of that? I love my life. There we go. Yeah, okay. Thank you for getting us rolling, Carla. All right, who's got another one? Knowing me, I'll screw it up. And the opposite? I can do anything. I love that. All right, one more.
What's going to happen to me next?
What's going to happen to me next? Opposite?
I can't wait to see what's going to happen to me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen to me. Yeah, and we've even tweaked that little opposite to, I can't wait to see what God's going to do with this. That's good, because if we believe that, then it's probably not going to happen. But if we go, I can't wait to see what God's going to do with it, right? Just if we need that little added thing to help us believe in that. So here's what will happen when you consistently, deliberately, and continually think and say what you really want. You become a magnet to it and it to you, because that's how the law works. But sometimes we can get discouraged because it's not happening fast enough, right? So here's a few words of encouragement for you. If your prosperity does not become manifest as soon as you pray and affirm God as your substance, your supply, and your support, refuse to give up. Refuse to give up. Things are working in the unseen. The challenge is you can't see what's happening in the unseen. That's that crazy paradox again. But that doesn't mean that things aren't happening, because they are. Did you know that if you were to plant bamboo seeds, you wouldn't see a thing above ground for about 3 years? You'd probably think nothing was happening and that your effort had gone to waste, and you might even give up and stop watering it. But is nothing happening? Absolutely not. A whole lot is happening. In fact, it's establishing a strong, deep root structure, which is what we're doing, okay? So that when the growth period happens, which is phenomenal for you too, it's ready. Because once a shoot peeks through the ground, it can grow up to 4 feet in a 24-hour period, and in 3 months it can shoot up to 70 feet in the air. You too, okay? And the same thing is happening for us when it appears that nothing is happening. Roots are being laid, and things are being lined up in the invisible. Refuse to give up. Have you all had this experience? I've had this often on my spiritual journey, where it'll just seem like nothing's happening, and it's like, first it's kind of nice that I'm just sort of in a rut and, don't, and then it's like I start getting impatient, and anyway, it just seems like, and then all of a sudden, it's like hyper speed, super duper, like crazy manifestation, amazing opportunities, it's just like, blah. And see, if all during that time of nothing happening, if I wasn't doing anything, any of the spiritual practices that cultivate and nurture the manifestation, it's like that wouldn't be as wonderful as it often is, and as surprising as it often is. And it's kind of fun when that starts to happen, because it's like, it's like kind of like magic. It's like everything's just working, and oh my God, not that too, and so just know that the work that you're doing, it matters, and it's worth it. And just be patient, just be patient. Refuse to give up. And just keep taking whatever steps are yours to take, because you never, and this is from Prosperity, Fillmore says, no one ever fully sees the steps he must take in reaching a certain point or reaching a certain end. But we must take a step, whatever it is, knowing that the next one will be revealed in the right and perfect time. Scripture tells us, and this is beautiful, that thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Now, that doesn't say that a floodlight is going to illuminate the whole, block for you, or the whole path for you. It says, as you're taking these steps, the light will be shined on where you take the next step to. So a beautiful affirmation from Prosperity is, I have faith in the substance of God working in and through me to increase and bring about abundance in my life. And we could just shorten it to say, I have faith in the substance of God. Say that with me. I have faith in the substance of God. Okay, so now let's check in. You should have 5 gems on your treasure map right now, leaving 3 more to be discovered. Who has the first one? Anybody? Carla?
Spiritual substance is never depleted.
Excellent. Who's got the second one?
There's plenty of air to breathe.
Yes. The third one?
Refuse to give up.
Yes. 4.
No one ever fully sees the steps.
Good. Yes.
Faith
No one ever fully sees the steps. I should have repeated that one a few more times to help you. And number 5.
I have faith in the substance of
There you go. Very, very good. Okay, so now we're going to get to the next 3. Except first I want to just say this, because there's a whole chapter on just this one theme, and I'm just going to try to call the crux of it out for you. The great promise of prosperity is that if we will seek God first, then all else will be added unto us. One of the most practical and sensible ways of seeking God's kingdom first is to put God first in our finances. When we put God first in our finances, not only in thought, but in every act, by releasing our first fruits, which is 1/10 of our income, to God, our faith in this omnipresent supply becomes 100-fold stronger, and we prosper accordingly. Obeying this law gives us an inner knowing that we are building our finances on a sure foundation that will not fail us. Put God first in your finances. This is that holy and high act of that dreaded word, tithing, which means, and it's not a dreaded word, it's actually a beautiful word. And it's a beautiful practice and demonstration. And what it is it's leaving 10% of our good with the source of all, and seeding it in supporting organizations or people that have reminded us who we are. They've reminded us of the bounty of God, and spiritually it has enriched your life, and whose work in the world you would like to see flower, flourish, and grow. So this is how we do it. We put God first in our finances. Jesus said, "Give and it shall be given unto you," which we've probably heard that one a lot, but I love this next part. It says, "Give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Doesn't that sort of sound, you get that picture of me in the money bath a little bit from that? He was not merely making a promise, but stating a law that never fails to function. So inexhaustible is this bounty of God, the giver of all, that only good can come to those who have their eyes to see it and the faith to receive it. So God is an unfailing source of supply. And I'll tell you, whenever I get scared about money, as soon as I remember God is my source, I immediately, God is my source. God is my source. There's such a comfort in that. And you can see all around you abundance and prosperity. I walk every day up in these amazing, beautiful forest of trees where I live, and oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. And there's a million trees and flowers and bushes and birds and deer, and it's just like beaming of life, no shortage. So God is an unfailing source of supply. And I've learned, and most of the time, I do know in my heart of hearts that God is an unfailing source of supply. All I have to do is look at my life. It's like it's so easy to see in retrospect how you've always had what you needed and been taken care of. It's not always as easy in the present moment when you're challenged, right? And so that's when it's good to just kind of reflect on, wait a minute, God is my source. And God is an unfailing source of supply. So if you would like to deeply know this and just experience the peace that comes from knowing that, I have an invitation for you. And to some, it may feel more like a challenge, and that's fine too, because we like these, ice bucket challenges, and I don't know, they got a whole bunch of challenges, so this is another one. And this is a tithing challenge, and anyone that's interested, there's forms that says a 90-day, doesn't that sound like a long time, a 90-day tithing challenge that were on the chairs as well. The cheerful giving challenge. Dang it, I changed all the words except on this one. Okay, we're changing it. Scratch out tithing challenge and put cheerful giver. Doesn't that feel better? Reverend Franklin gave us that one. Now, if you decide that you want to partake of this and as an experiment to sort of see what happens, kind of stick your toe in the water, you will be getting a lot of support from me. So please write your email where I can read it, because I'm going to be sending you all kinds of things. It also has a money-back guarantee. If after 3 months you don't feel completely blessed by the experience, we will give you your money back. Okay? It's on tape. Okay? She's got me on tape. All right? And goodies and surprises along the way. So I want to leave you with some final words of advice from Fillmore. And this was kind of contained in our last little gem. It appears as, don't take anyone's word for it. I want you to try it for yourself, because another fellow's realization of substance will not guarantee your supply. You must become conscious of it for yourself. Identify yourself with substance until you make it yours. It will change your finances, destroy your fears, stop your worries, and you will soon begin to rejoice in the ever-present bounty of God. Let's say that one together. I rejoice in the ever-present bounty of God. One more time. I rejoice in the ever-present bounty of God. See how much bounty you can see this week in your life? Go walk in nature. Go walk in nature. And tell me there's not an amazing God full of infinite beauty, abundance, and prosperity. All right, who's got the last three? Of course you do, Carla. Who else? Oh, Betty. Put God first in finances. Very good. Who else? Frankie.
God is an unfailing source of supply.
That is right. How lucky you are to get that at 18. Yay. When do you go to college? She leaves today, so everybody get your hugs. Oh, honey, that's so amazing. I remember you when you were a little bitty. I got chills. I love you, honey. Oh, that's just so great. Mwah. Yeah, she got like full ride scholarship because she's so amazing. Yeah. That's because she's got two incredible parents. Oh my God. Yeah. I wish she'd be my parents. Yeah. All right. Who's got the seventh one? No, wait. You just did that, didn't you, Frankie? How about the last one? Jada. You all are so brilliant. Okay, so all of you who got all 8 of those, you get to come up here afterwards and pick out what you want, okay? The rest of you, if there's anything left, which I have more in the stores because there's an ever bounty of good, okay? You can come help yourselves too. Okay, so we have just a couple minutes. Anybody have like some resistance or, just something in you that's just like, I don't know about any of this, and you may be experiencing like a kind of a clog in the channel or the vessel of your being where you're not receiving as much as you want in terms of everything. We're not just talking about finances now. And if somebody would like to work with me just for a couple minutes, we'll see if we can correct maybe whatever error is going on in the thinking mind that may be blocking that, and see if we can get that channel of in and out flow happening. So is there anybody that wants to do a couple minutes with me? I know you're waiting, Carla, to just give other people a chance. I love her. She's like the adorable little girl in class, except everybody likes her too, that goes, I love you for that. Thank you. You're such a good little role model. Okay. All right. Well, actually, we ran over a little bit today, so we didn't have that much time anyway. So, Carla, call me. Okay. All right. You know this stuff anyway. So I hope you had a little bit of fun today with this, and you've got some gems that you can take away with you. So I just love you, and I bless you, and I just know absolutely beautiful, wonderful things for you. And if you can't know that for yourself yet, you come see me or Michael or one of the practitioners, and let us help you. Let us help support you. All right? Thank you.